I mean, look at the size of this thing. It's like the size of my face. Welcome to Around the House. I'm Tanya, and today's video I will be showing you what I do with my 21 tomato plants that I grow. I have 21 tomato plants in my garden this year, and there's a bunch red down here. It's gonna be our first big harvest. We also have rain coming tomorrow, so I'm gonna pick all the blush tomatoes I can because I do not want them to crack. If they get rain tomorrow, they're gonna crack. So come along with me as I pick and can and show you the process of tomato juice and how and why and what, all the things. See, like even this one, it would be nice if it could stay on longer, but I don't want it to crack tomorrow when we get storms. So I'm gonna pick all these and they'll still ripen nicely. See, that one already started to split. So I'll just cut that out. This is a Glacier variety. Oh, there's another split. But these have been really sweet. Like a nice little size. Now look at this gigantic thing. Oh, this is the biggest tomato by far that has been growing in the garden. Look at that, it's huge. And I most definitely do not want that to split. So all the tomatoes have been picked. Some of them could use like a day or two ripening on the counter, but because we are supposed to get storms the next couple days, I don't want them to split, so I pulled them today in the heat of the day when I could for their best flavor. But this is a basket full of tomatoes. All right, so those jars are gonna sterilize in there. You could totally do that on a stove. However, my stove, 2 of my burners decided to give out this last week. So we're working on trying to replace that. My mom had this, and this is what she's always used for canning. So it actually works out pretty nicely. I'm gonna use the grill burner to cook down my tomatoes. So it'll work pretty nice being outside until it gets too hot. Next, we are going to make sure all our tomatoes are good and washed. So I'm gonna fill up the sink, wash them off. We're gonna cut them in half or in quarters, depending on the size they are. Cut out any brown spots, any kind of splits that might look a little moldy. We're gonna toss those. All right, there's a big pot of tomatoes. Also, I had some tomatoes that I had frozen, and I had froze these as they were getting ready, but I didn't have enough to can. I just stuck them in the freezer until canning day. So I pulled them out and they're gonna go in the pot as well. All right, Vitamixer, game changer.
You can't afford to go another day without a Vitamix machine. Get a Vitamix machine right now. It's going to be flashed on the screen immediately. Get your pencil and paper ready and take down this information.
My mom and aunt started canning their tomato juice like this a few years back, and you get to throw all the seeds, all the skins in, and then you cook it down. Super simple. Simmer this out. I need a spoon. Big old wooden spoon. All right, so I'm gonna bring this to a boil. Once it boils, I'm gonna take it down to a simmer. I'm gonna let it simmer, like cook down for a good like 35 minutes until I get the consistency that I like. Like I said, once I can it, and then in the winter time when I open it for tomato soup, I add a little bit of chicken broth into it and heavy cream. So I always factor that in. I can make it a little bit thicker because I am gonna be adding stuff into it when I dump it out of the can. Well, let's cook this down. All right, we're buying a propane burner because this setup already is way more better. Way more better.
Get your pencil and paper ready and take down this information.
This setup is way better than having it inside, and it's not so hot. I'm not gonna make the house all hot on a hot day. So got all my utensils here, ready to work. Tomato juice is a cooking, waiting for that to boil. We got our cans over here, sterilizing, and I get a beautiful view of the garden in the backyard. This is a dream.
Mom, I got some more. Want to do a small one or a big one?
Look at Belle. Oh, sorry, did I wake you? So, tomatoes are cooking down. After that, we're gonna ladle it into some quart-sized jars. Quarts, I'm gonna process for 40 minutes. So I'm going to put the tomato juice into the quart jars. I'm gonna take a clean cloth and go around every single rim to make sure there's no debris on those cans. I want them to seal well. I will put a band on top. Don't tighten it too tight, just till you get kind of to that last like push, but don't keep going. And I'm gonna stick them back in the water bath canner, and I'm gonna process them for 40 minutes. You could add basil into this too if you wanted to, add a little salt. Really, the options are endless. This is the way that my mom and my grandma have always done it, and it's always worked for them, and so this is the way I do it. I'm gonna continue the tradition. Yep, he's getting water on me. Always playing with water. And then I just let them sit on my counter for 24 hours, make sure they've all popped. The ones that don't pop, we have for dinner in the next week. And the ones that have popped, I stick in the canning cabinet, and hopefully it'll last us all winter long. So, hope you enjoyed this little video of how to can tomato juice, how I do it, and it's a fun little thing to do, and doing it outside makes for a lot less cleanup. So I hope that you feel inspired, I hope you learned something new, and you try something new.